Barcelona have defeated Tottenham 4-2 with a goal coming from Lewandowski, a goal coming from Ferran Torres, Abde, and Ansu Fati. What a way to finish our preseason. In the past 4 games that we have played, during this preseason, we have won 3 out of those 4 and lost 1. The first loss did come against Arsenal, and that was understandable. It was Barcelona's first game, and it was Arsenal's like 3rd or 4th game. But we knew that ever since that loss against Arsenal, Barcelona were only going to go up from here. And so we did score a total of 11 goals, but conceded 7. But 5 of those conceded goals did come from Arsenal, and the other 2 came from Spurs. So I think that this preseason overall, it was a good one. It was a very solid one. We got some answers. We know exactly what players to trust and what our main starting 11 will be like. And so our next match now is going to be against Getafe on Sunday, which will be our first match to kick off La Liga. But going back to this match, right? I think that tonight we have seen something spectacular, and we are going to be talking about Lamine Yamal, Abde, Ansu Fati, etc., right? And especially with Lamine Yamal, he is just one hell of a player. So in this match, we saw Lewandowski score a goal, Rafinha make an assist, Ferran Torres score a goal and provided an assist, Abde has a goal, Ansu Fati has a goal, Lamine Yamal provided an assist, and Fermin Lopez provided an assist. We had a total of 7 different players that contributed into these goals that we have scored against Tottenham. And so I was very impressed. I was very impressed with the way that Barcelona rise from the occasion, because it did not look like in the first half that Barcelona were going to win this game. Like, we saw Barcelona score the first goal, right? We saw Oriol Romeu make a amazing through pass to Rafinha. Rafinha beats his man. He makes a key pass cross to Lewandowski, and Lewandowski scores the first goal, and it was 1-0. And we're like, okay, fine. Barcelona's probably going to win like 2-0, 3-0, no problem. But then we saw Tottenham come back and scoring 2 goals within the first 45 minutes. And we're like, what's going on? Why can't Barcelona control the game? Like, we have all of these great midfielders, but it doesn't even seem like we can control the game well. And at our own home, is there something going on in this Barcelona squad? So a lot of things were very questionable. And I felt like ever since Tottenham scored those 2 goals, Barcelona's confidence did lower. And so that was very alarming. And so we needed answers. And so we go on into the second half, and Barcelona did not make any changes yet. But we knew we had to make changes, because Barcelona's only threat was Rafinha on the right side, and Rafinha had to constantly be put in situations where he was on 1v1 duels, and about 50 to 60 to 70% of the time he won those duels. But we needed a player that was able to make a lot of damage on the right side so we can progress the ball forward. Now, we had another answer on trying to progress the ball forward. Like, for example, we had Alejandro Balde that was looking to receive the ball up high, but Tottenham were making a mid to low block, and they were basically like blocking all of the passing lanes in order for Alejandro Balde not to receive the ball. So they did their homework. They knew exactly what was our strengths and our weaknesses, and they took advantage of that. Like, for example, the way that they scored those 2 goals, they were both similar goals. They made crosses into the box from the left side and the right side, I believe, and Barcelona were just unable and incapable to defend those crosses. They're not good at defending crosses, whether it's on the ground or in the air, and Barcelona do need to work on that. So like I've said, Tottenham did their homework. They knew exactly who Barcelona was. And throughout these moments and throughout these minutes, one of the things that really did concern me was the fact that we had 3 total center backs injured, which is Araujo, Christensen, and Inigo Martinez, and the season has not even started. Now, keep in mind that it has been reported that Araujo did not go through something serious, but still, the fact that he had to leave the game in order to take just precautionary measures is alarming, because at that moment, we had 3 center backs that were out, and so no wonder Xavi Hernandez is asking for more defenders, and this is the reason why Barcelona are going all in on Cancelo or Fresneda, and then also introduce the integration of Mikayil Faye. You can see why Xavi Hernandez is trying to overload the back line, is because he knows that players these days do get injured a lot, and many of us thought that we had enough center backs, that we have enough defenders, but look, we have right here, right? At that moment in the game, 3 center backs were out, and that was alarming. But luckily for us, it has been said that Araujo only came out because he felt some sort of niggle. It was not like an injury, and he will be okay. But still, I do think that Xavi Hernandez will say that we have to go for Cancelo or Fresneda and continue the progression of Mikayil Faye. So later in this game, right, it was clearly a very hard game to get through. But then, ladies and gentlemen, Xavi Hernandez made some substitutions, and the right substitutions. Eventually, in the second half, around the 60th minute mark, we saw the integration of Ansu Fati, Gundogan, Ferran Torres, and Abde. Now, we saw other players like Marcos Alonso and some other substitutions, but those 4 players, right, Gundogan, Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, and Abde did make the huge difference. And then only for Xavi Hernandez, about 4 to 5 minutes later, introduced Lamine Yamal. And by that time, when we saw those 4 to 5 players enter the pitch, the atmosphere changed, something changed, the energy changed. But Barcelona had a very different different face, and we saw Barcelona have a lot of fun in those last 15 to 20 minutes. And one of the players that did over impress and overreach the expectations was Lamine Yamal. We saw Lamine Yamal run behind the defense on the right side. He dribbles the ball all the way down and he makes a cross with his left foot to Ferran Torres, and Ferran Torres scores the equalizer. And then we're like, oh my god, like this is all we needed. We just needed someone like Lamine Yamal with his awareness on the right side and with Ferran Torres making those fast runs behind the defense. That was literally all we need to find the equalizer. You saw how like the energy has changed when we saw Lewandowski and Rafinha take the step down. Lamine Yamal and Ferran Torres created the first goal. But then we move on towards the third goal that Barcelona scored. That was also created by Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal just out dribbles the left back of Tottenham, takes down a couple of players, passes it towards Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres passes it towards Ansu Fati, and Ansu Fati scores the third goal, meaning that Ansu Fati gets the goal, Ferran Torres gets the assist, and Lamine Yamal creates the opportunity. A 16-year-old player is creating opportunities for Barcelona, and we were all there to witness that moment. The vibes that Lamine Yamal does give is very similar to how Messi was back in 2004. When we saw Messi make those amazing runs, those moments of excellence, Lamine Yamal is doing the exact same thing. Now, keep in mind, I'm not trying to compare Lamine Yamal to Messi. I'm not saying that Lamine Yamal is the next Messi, but he gives the same vibes. He gives the same excitement, and every time he does have the ball, it just makes you feel optimistic for the future of this club. The way that he's able to turn situations around when you know that Lamine Yamal is being blocked fully by one of the left backs of Tottenham, but only for him to convert that chance into an open chance, it's huge. It's so huge. Dembele is able to create open chances for himself, but he does it individually. Lamine Yamal welcomes other players to join the attack, which is why you saw him make that pass to Ferran Torres. If it was Dembele, he probably would have dribbled all the way down the right flank, maybe do a cross or something like that, and that's it. But with Lamine Yamal, you can see the difference. You can see that he invites his teammates. It's more of a collective effort, and Lamine Yamal does the dirty work. So it's fascinating to see all of this unfold. I do think that Lamine Yamal has a good season ahead of him, and I think that the only thing that could stop the progression of Lamine, even though I know that he's young, right? I know that he has a lot of time in his career, but the only thing that could stop it is by introducing Bernardo Silva, which is the reason why I don't want Xavi Hernandez to really bring Bernardo Silva. I know, right? I know that Bernardo Silva will bring a lot of results to Barcelona in the short term. I know that he'll score goals, provide assists. He'll easily be adapted to Barcelona's play, and I know he will be world class. I know that. I'm not trying to say that Bernardo Silva is a trash player and that he is not that good anymore. I'm not trying to say that. Bernardo Silva is an amazing player, but to introduce him to this squad, knowing that the cost is going to be the development of Lamine Yamal, doesn't really resonate well with me. I want to see Lamine Yamal be maximized to his full potential, like now, like today, like in this season. Bernardo Silva will be turning 30 eventually, and I want to see Lamine Yamal, who is turning 17 next year, be the face of this Barcelona club. Even though I know that this is a very young age, I still think that he has the capability to do that. And we already have our second option to Lamine Yamal. If Lamine Yamal is having a bad day, or maybe he has one bad game every 3 games or something like that, or he's injured, Rafinha is going to be there. Rafinha is a quality player. I don't think that he's a starter for this club. He's still, in my opinion, a second choice on the right wing, but he can always be that second choice to Lamine Yamal. Let's continue to give more minutes to the player, because the more he plays, the more confidence I see running through him, and that's very dangerous for any team that wants to face a team that has Lamine Yamal. And then we top it all out with the fourth goal. Lamine Yamal again creates the chance. He does go past Reguilón, who is the left back of Tottenham, very easy. I have no idea what happened to him. I think he got injured, but he was not going to be able to catch up against Lamine. So he goes past that left back. He passes it towards Fermin Lopez, right? So remember that midfielder that scored a goal and provided an assist against Real Madrid. Fermin Lopez provides the assist to Abde, and Abde scores the goal, and Barcelona won 4-2. So those last 15 to 20 minutes, man, like I want that, but I want that in 90 minutes. I want that from the very beginning, and I know that they can. So final note, right? And I'm just going to continue talking about these youngsters because I want to praise them and I want to give out good energy to these players. Lamine Yamal is a game changer, and at just 16 years old, that is immense because he has great ball control. He has an eye for bringing danger in the box, and we need that. We miss that on the right wing. Abde has shown that he has a lot of aggression in him. He has that ability to take on players on both flanks, right? He has no weak spots. He can do it on the right side and on the left side, and that is the exact profile that Xavi does need. I don't know if you guys saw that sequence, right? And I'm gonna try and remember to put that video and clip on this timeline here. So I don't know if you guys remember, but Abde was trying to take the ball away from one of the right wingers, I believe, of Tottenham, and he took the ball away due to his focus and his aggression. And that is how the play started, with Barcelona creating the third goal when Lamine Yamal took on that player. Abde was the one behind the scenes, and with that amount of aggression and focus and able to defend, again, that is so needed at Barcelona. What a way for Abde to really step up for his team. And so I do not want any of this to be ruined, like at all, but due to any transfers. I don't care if we bring in Bernardo Silva and Neymar. I want to see these players. Now, Xavi Hernandez is giving out hints. He may have different plans. He has said this about Ansu Fati, and I quote, "We'll see. There is a market until the end of the month. We all depend on financial fair play," meaning that he is opening the opportunity of Ansu Fati leaving in the summer. He is saying that we'll see, meaning that it's not guaranteed. Now, I bet you, right? I bet you if they asked Xavi about Gavi or Pedri or Frankie or Araujo or Balde, he would have said, no, they're not on the market. They are untouchable. He would have said something like that, but with Ansu, it's a much different feeling. You can see that he is open towards the operation of Ansu Fati leaving, and he welcomes Neymar. Xavi has said this about Neymar, and I quote, "I can't say anything. He is in another team, but the transfer window is open until the end of the month. I can't say anything." So it's very interesting to see that Xavi has given out this type of vibe of letting go of Ansu and welcoming the idea of Neymar, even though we know that Xavi Hernandez does not want Neymar. Or maybe yes, maybe everything that we have been hearing in the past 2 or 3 days is false, and Xavi is the one pulling the strings, and he wants Neymar here as soon as possible. So with him saying this to the media, like this is real facts. This is him speaking to the media. This is not some information that we're getting from some journalist. Xavi is saying and open to the idea of Neymar joining Barcelona. He's not ruling it out. And so if Neymar were to come, I hope that it does not change anything with Ansu Fati, Lamine Yamal, Abde, and Ferran Torres. I like this chemistry that they are building. I can see the energy and I can see the hunger. But overall, it was a great game. Again, Barcelona have won 4-2. Now let's move on towards the first game of La Liga. And I promise you, we will be there and with full excitement. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.